Hello and welcome back to the Music Theory Challenge, where we are learning something new about music theory every day. I would like to hear from you so far. Which one was the most challenging unit? Unit 1, where we learned about the musical alphabet, order of sharps. Unit 2, we extended our knowledge on circle of fifths and the flat notes and the order of flats. Or Unit 3, where we learned so many musical symbols. Let's start by reviewing our musical symbols, but remember, I have added everything on a PDF that I made for you. My master's degree is in curriculum design, so I used everything that I know to make that PDF for you. Okay, let's start with the beginning of music notation. So usually near the beginning, you see a time signature, and the time signature that we've been using is called 4/4. This means that we're counting to the value of 4 quarter notes. And how much is 4 quarter notes worth here? How many beats do they give us? Well, 4 quarter notes give us 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that means that we're counting up to 4. Then what happens when we count up to 4? We add a measure line. So measure line. Measure lines separate or organize, whichever word, every 4 full beats. Every 4 full beats. And the space inside is called the measure. This is a measure. And I try to make my writing neat, but since I'm writing in the air, it sometimes is not the neatest. So these are some of the big words that we learned in this unit. So we have our time signature, our measure, and our measure lines. And at the end of one of these lessons in the unit, I let you know that sometimes musicians use the word measure and the word bar interchangeably. So measure or bar and bar line. Now the reason I don't love to use it here on this channel is because we actually have another word that we use often with chords. And it's called bar too, but it's spelled this way. And so I know that there are people here in this channel who don't watch the videos, they listen to them. And so I try to separate the language. So I will usually use the word measure. But I slip up, I promise. I try, but I slip up sometimes. We also learned music notation symbols, right? So we learned our whole note. Make sure it's hollow. It looks like an egg lying sideways. And this is worth 4 full beats, right? And we learned the whole rest. So quiz yourself here. What does the whole rest look like? Draw it before I do and see if you remember the correct one. So I'm going to draw it now. I'm going to draw a line first and a whole. This is the whole rest and the whole note. These get 4 beats each. Next in line, we have a hollow note here with a stem. That gets 2 beats. And the rest for that one looks like a little hat. And I asked you to remember that the words half and the words hat start with HA. And so that kind of helps me to remember that rest. After that, we learned the quarter note, which looks like the half note, but it's filled in. It gets 1 beat. And we learned the quarter rest. And it looks a little bit like a lightning bolt. And then lastly, we learned the 8th note. And this one is a tricky one because by itself, it looks like a quarter note with a little flag on it or a little hanging arm. But when you have them together, they like to hold hands or hug. So make sure that you can also recognize beamed 8th notes. And in some rare occasions, you'll even see, sometimes it's not even that rare actually, you'll see 4 of them beamed together. So make sure that you know that 1 by itself is just a half, half a beat. And then you would count this as 1 and, or 1 and 2 and. And just as the last little bit, the 8th note is where we started strumming down and. So this would be down and down, or down, up. So that's a lot. You learned a lot of symbols in this unit. Please let me know in the comments below if you would like me to revisit or make an additional video explaining something, or if you would like more practice with any of these terms. And I'll make sure and add videos that give more context. And I'm also adding more on the PDF. So some of the days have more than 1 page because I try to go into more detail in the PDF. But this officially concludes Unit 3. So let me know how you're feeling about this unit. And in the next unit, we're actually going to start learning note names like G and A. And how does that look like on music notation? So that's where we're going to have a lot of fun. I think it's really fun to read music notation. And we should see a lot of light bulb moments there. So that will be Unit 4. So let me know how you feel so far. And I'll see you in the next section of our music theory challenge. Thank you. Ciao.